everyone, I am Karina and welcome to my blog. For today, we're going to talk how information, communication, and technology empowers me and how that leads to a significant contribution to the society. For a short background, I am an adult learner taking up grade 11 ABM strand. So that would give you a little bit of an idea of how ICT made a contribution to my specialization and of course to my personal life as well. Basically, I grew up in a generation where one, information is found in printed materials, where you have to visit a library to get information from or to search what you're looking for. Second, communication is scarce, meaning you need to go to phone booths to make a phone call, send telegrams to far places if long distance calls is expensive for you, fax documents when you need to submit something, and rent a computer shop to do all your business. Yeah. And lastly, where information and current events can be heard only from the radio or watch from television, read from a newspaper. So these are things that that doesn't come available to all. Not everybody can afford TV. Not everybody can afford a radio back then. Because I remember the time where having a television is a luxury. Yeah. So basically, those were the days when life is simple yet complicated. But now, all that was mentioned can be accessed easily at the palm of your hands. Of course, using your cell phone, which now I'm using to record this blog. Okay? So how does this empower me? Well, the technology now, it allows me to complete my work the shortest time. It allows me to save money because I can learn skills that I need for my job. Whereas before, I pay somebody to do a certain thing for me, like layouting posters. I used to pay people to make posters for me, to lay out a poster. But now, we have Canva to help us with that. And because I have the technology now, technology is achievable now, affordable, I can do that on my own. I can learn how to use that technology, that application, that platform through internet, through YouTube. So that's how our technology empowers us. Okay, so gadgets are not just made for you to play games or to just chat. Well, we use it to communicate with our far friends and relatives so that we can keep the communication going with the people who are very physically distant from us. Okay, and yeah, I've said it, I've learned new skills. It allows me to communicate to anyone, anytime, as fast as I can, do the work faster because I don't need to go to the computer shop. You have to go preparing yourself. Ooh, nice man. Preparing yourself to go to a computer shop, you have to fix first. Make sure you look presentable. You need to carry whatever you need to carry. If you forget something, you have to go back home. And sometimes computer shops back then are not just a doorstep away from you. Sometimes you have to commute a little bit to get to a good computer shop where everything, where the technology is better. Not every computer shop has the same set of technology that you can use. So I would say that we are lucky to have this in this period. And if that's how ICT have been for me, I think it is the same for most of us. Okay? So if I'm benefiting a lot from it, then most of the society does as well. Now, of course, there is the part of what are the setbacks of ICT in the present times. Though many are able to adjust to the changes that ICT have brought us, not everyone is able to follow through. Just imagine those who cannot afford. There are still those people who cannot afford the technology. Okay, there are those people who are not willing to learn the technology. And there are those people who are not or cannot learn the technology anymore. It's beyond their mental capability. I don't know how you call it, but their ability to learn new things fast is not as good as others. So I find myself lucky for that. Okay, and of course, there are people who don't have access to this technology. Those who are very in the very remote areas, and yeah, well, there's also no signal in those remote areas. So these are the things that pulls back ICT a little bit, but I think it's being worked on. Okay, and of course there are those people who are very knowledgeable in ICT that they use it to scam people, to take advantage of the people who are still learning the technology, or those people who have low adaptability to the technology. So that's the setback of ICT. And we have the last question here, that what can we do next to make the world better with ICT? Now, with that, I believe that all actions to assist the whole society, the whole community are already in place. I mean, there are people whose job is to assist those people who are having a hard time. That's why we have the BPO, we have the BPO people, we have the service centers, we have YouTube tutorials for it. And there are also the studies that is being made in order to address the setbacks that was mentioned earlier. But there are some areas where we can make improvements, like I find very important, like in the education department, more specifically in the public schools. Okay, it because in this day, in this period, in this time, we are all most of us are using ICT, and if we cannot teach these children how to use ICT the best way, then what's the use of having these innovations? I am enrolled in public school, and I've noticed that we don't have a computer laboratory where we students can practice what we are learning from the textbooks or from the PDF files that were sent to us about ICT. I've noticed a lot of my classmates are having a hard time using Google Docs or Google Excel or Google Drive. And these are the things that should be practiced inside a school setting. And, practice and be better at. I'm just the lucky ones to have been able to understand how these platforms work. And I am lucky enough to know people who I can call expert on the technology that I am using now. And I hope that our government and the Department of Education would really look at this area, because the use of ICT, please excuse the dog, because the use of ICT is really abundant in the business world. And if our students in the public schools are lacking in that area, we are taking out their chances of getting employed and getting a better life in the future. And those are my thoughts about ICT, how it helps us, what are its setbacks, and what are the areas we can improve on. And I hope that my insights about ICT would be able to help me, whatever department, or get the attention of somebody in an office to take an action. And so that's all. That's what I'm gonna leave you today. Excuse my cats. And I hope that this platform that I'm using now will be able to make a change to help things get better for the society. Thank you for listening, and have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.